Hello everybody, I am Sunny Tatman or Sinatro on the speedrun.com forums. This is Wayward Souls, starting now. So this run's end time is 29:09, which is a world record by about 2 minutes, which is kind of crazy. I think a lot of it came down to just me getting lucky, as well as, mostly just me getting lucky. It is a roguelike, so that's basically, what many speedruns boil down to for roguelikes. However, besides just me getting lucky, I feel like I played decent here. Like, I played decently, I didn't play, like, my best. If I had gotten this run and I had played better, I probably could have had, like, maybe like a 24-30 or something like that. Maybe even like below sub 24. I'm not sure. But I might as well explain the mechanics of generally what's going on, because this might be the first commentated run of this game you've ever seen. You may have seen my previous runs of this game. So what we're looking at is a top-down roguelike that feels like Secret of Mana, but has a sort of combat system reminiscent of Dark Souls. And no, I'm not just saying that because it's a meme. The developers themselves have actually said it's kind of Dark Souls-ish, I believe. I think Kappa said that. I don't remember. And yes, I do talk with the developer of this game on occasion. He's actually a really nice guy. You should follow him at I forget what his Twitter handle is. He runs the Rocket Cat Twitter account, Rocket Cat Games. He's also pretty active on the Wayward Souls Discord as well. So, also this game is in PC beta, which is very exciting. I do not have a PC at the moment, which is sad, but I am planning on getting one soon. But for now I'm running. For now I'm doing runs of the mobile version because it's the only version available. I wish I could do PC testing, just because it would be helpful for, to have, it might be helpful to have a speedrunner's eye in terms of just, how the game plays and feels. But honestly, this game is amazing. It's probably the best mobile game. It's, okay, not the best mobile game, it's one of the best mobile games on the market. It's definitely the best roguelike on mobile. But, in terms of best mobile game on the market, that's a whole different topic that does not pertain to speedrunning this game. So, the reason I chose the Rogue for the mines is just simple. The mines, you don't always have to fight every enemy to unlock the door. However, and sometimes there aren't even locked doors. Like you saw there, I hit an enemy once, and the unlocking sound chimed. So, and sometimes both doors will unlock when you do that. So, the Rogue is basically gathering my thoughts. The Rogue is the fastest moving character in terms of her movement options. Yes, the spell sword also has a dash, but he cannot dash through enemies. Okay, so this is a speed buff. Speed buff buffs your speed. Until you get hit, that is. So these fireplaces are called Ember Forges. And what they do is they will let you upgrade a piece of equipment that one of your pieces of equipment. Every character has 3 pieces of equipment, therefore every character can hold 3 equipment upgrades at once. There are 5 different equipment upgrades for every piece of equipment, so that is 15 different upgrades per character, 5 for each piece of equipment that can be upgraded. Okay, so that cut there was really abrupt, but I do have an explanation. What happened is that my phone, so in between floors there, I adjusted myself. And by adjusted myself, I mean I changed how I was sitting. And so my phone screen rotated. And then the rest of the video was upside down. So I kind of didn't want to show that. However, it did happen. If anybody questions me on it later, I do have a run. I do have a video of the run that is still upside down. This was one contiguous run. I did not cut anything. Honestly, that wasn't even like the first 4 floors there were not even cut worthy, if you ask me. But like, it wasn't worth splicing together. Anyways, so Mage comes in to the tower. So the tower has a lot of enemies that are kind of stacked up. Mage has a piercing attack that can hit up to 3 enemies, which is awesome. But there are also these knights who have a shield. With any other character, you would have to use a charge attack, break their shield, and then you could start hurting them normally. If you hit their shield, they it just bounces off and then they dash towards you for a counterattack, which is really annoying. But with the mage, no worry about that. I'll just stand in front of that fireball. No, not a care in the world. Totally meant to do that. But, yeah. So, on to the next floor. Also, I had to take a break in recording this audio because I needed to blow my nose. I don't know why I'm out of breath. Anyways, so I don't know what I was talking about, but as the mage, there's 3 upgrades that you want to see. Neither of those are the upgrades you want to see. Well, okay. So the mage, what you're looking for is for your staff upgrade you want. For the staff upgrade, what you're looking for is the spiraled stone. Well, depending on your playstyle, there could be 3 different staffs that could fit. So the spiraled stone has the longest range out of any of the staff upgrades. However, it makes your charge attack an AoE around you. But it's generally the option that you want to take if you want to be safe. However, then there's the Staff of Azar, which lowers your damage, but increases your attack speed. And, well, wait, no. It doesn't increase your attack speed. What it does is it will decrease the amount of energy used per attack, meaning that you have more attacks in a burst. And then the Salamander's Breath retains the damage of Staff of Azar. I mean, it retains the damage of the Spiraled Stone, and then also has the smaller energy consumption of Staff of Azar. But its trade-off is that it's extremely short range. It's the shortest range out of any staff in the game. But it also will pierce through enemies. So if you want to be, if you want to play it safe, like I do, like I end up doing in this run, you take the spiraled stone. If you want to do some quicker damage, and also that I forgot to mention that the Staff of Azar also has a slow on it. So if you want to do damage quicker and have a slow, the Staff of Azar is the choice to go. That rhymed. That was unintentional. And then if you want just raw damage output and don't care about playing it safe, go for Salamander's Breath. And then the tome that I picked up is called the Mana Blade Arts. Mana Blade is not necessarily what you want. There's the Spiraled Stone, and I could have taken the Salamander's Breath if I had the cojones to do so. The Mana Blade Arts changes your upswipe attack, which was a flamethrower initially, into a long sword swing that will occasionally stun enemies right on time. And I believe it reflects projectiles. Yes, it does. It does reflect projectiles. So, which is actually a pretty good combo with the Spiral Stone. If enemies get close, you can use Mana Blade Arts. But what you're really looking for your tome is the Earthshaper's Lexicon, which is probably the single most broken thing in this game. Earthshaper's Lexicon is a projectile that has infinite range, so it goes until it hits a wall, and it also has infinite pierce, meaning it will go through every enemy until it hits said wall. Meaning that, yeah, it's pretty strong. Also, I feel so stupid about this room because I could have just gone left. I could have just gone left the whole time. Which was pretty dumb, I'll be honest, but whatever. Not too much was lost, just a bit of health, and as you can see by the fact that this is actually a completed run, it doesn't affect me too badly in the long term. So rooms like that are always a pain because you gotta wait for enemies to drop down, and you're not always sure when waves are over. It's like, am I done? Yeah. So there's just mage in a hallway, as you do. Mage in a hallway. That sounds kind of goofy. I don't know why. But yeah, any other character would take a bit longer to kill enemies. Those mages in particular, you would have to take 2 swings with any of the sword characters, or I believe like 4 stabs with any of the dagger characters. Speed buff, whee! Also, this was the best floor ever. Blazeweave is basically just your normal. Yeah, the stairs are right there. Best floor ever. And here we are at the last floor. Blazeweave is basically like a strict upgrade from your normal downswipe. Blazeweave will erase bullets, and also it does damage, unlike the default downswipe, which does not deal damage. Those upgraded ball and chain moves are kind of a pain to deal with. But yeah, I dealt with them nice and good. That felt grammatically wrong to say. Oh, the mages can revive their allies. However, if that doesn't count towards, like, if a mage revives an ally and the mage is the last enemy in the room and you kill the mage, you can still go through. The killed enemy counts as killed in the game's programming, I believe. So, the second boss is Amaranth. I don't even think I paid Humphrey any mind, because he's that simple of a fight. But Amaranth is a bit harder, mostly because he's kind of unpredictable. He teleports around. He'll slash at you with your sword. He summons mooks. No, he's not an easy fight for the mage. In fact, it's probably the hardest boss fight that the mage has. Because you can't even knock him away with your down swipe if you have Blaze Weave or the default robes, or I believe they're the Gale robes is the Gale robes basically emulate the effect of the base robes, but increases crit rate as well. The robe that you really want on mage is the Gellid Embrace, because Gellid Embrace creates a circle that slows down enemies and will absorb any projectile, which is absolutely busted. So now we're going to the catacombs with our warrior friend. Warrior has throwing axes, and he has a great big sword, and also a shield that will I believe that renders you pretty much invincible, which is nice. But catacombs is not a place to be trifled with, mostly because of that guy. Those are Thorned Incendiators, and they are the worst enemy in the game, not even kidding. They appear randomly, or I think they're based on like, you can't see them when they enter the room, but they're always moving around, and then they attack you based on proximity, once they're a certain distance from you. And sometimes you just have to wait around like that for them to show up. But sometimes you can't even move out of the way fast enough. I have a photo, a screenshot of a run where I walked into a room. I thought there was only one enemy, and then 5 Thorned Incendiators just popped up out of nowhere at the same time, all about to charge me. And I made that a to be continued meme, because what can I say? I'm a meme lord. So the Thorned Maguses, that's these cloaked stabby guys, are also kind of a pain to deal with. Basically, they will only be able to attack you up, down, left, or right, so as long as you stand diagonally to them, they won't be able to hurt you. However, they are also able... their hitboxes are kind of weird, at least in my experience. And they can also revive enemies. However, when they start reviving enemies, they have armor frames, which usually sounds like a bad thing, but in this case, it's a good thing, because that means you can just kind of attack them over and over again and they won't flinch. However, you can also just do this. And there's the Magus not flinching. So these floaty dudes are pretty annoying. As you can see, that one just took pot shots at me while I tried to deal with a Magus, which was not a great plan. Usually, you want to go for projectile users first, because you need a lot more room maneuvering with melee enemies. So I checked my map here, because I'm like, wait, how did I get to a dead end? I thought this was the only path. So I start to walk around, and I was thinking this was the death of this run. And that was not true, but I was thinking it because it was like, I have to go all the way around, and I'm going to lose a lot of time here, and it's not going to be good. So I'm like, wait, no, I have to go down here. And then this ends up being a dead end, and I'm just like, what? Where am I? Is there a place up here? That's like the only place I can go. So I go up there, and surprise, it was where I had to go. I can't remember what the four-legged guys are named. They're annoying though. They'll shoot between 2 and 4 projectiles at you, and then they can also jump, and their landing is explosive. So yeah, it turns out that I only needed to clear one room in this floor, and I was like, so I start going up there, and I'm like, wait, that can't possibly be the exit. That's probably a special generated room. So zombie floors are probably the easiest floors out of all of them, out of all the special floor types in the catacombs, because a lot of the times because there's a lot of trap rooms, but a lot of the times the traps will just kill the zombies for you. I do end up taking a lot of damage here, however, just because I play recklessly, as I have been this entire time. And yeah, sometimes you get ambushed like that, and it's the worst. But I managed to make it through, as you can tell. And no duh. Surprise, I actually die here. No, that's not true. So, continuing onwards. So, there are 3, I think they're revenants, or they're some kind of, they're summoners, I don't know what they're called. I call them revenants. They can summon zombies, so you kill them first. And like the mages, summon zombies don't count towards the room's, I guess, kill counter. So there's still enemies in the room, but I just walk out. So this kind of room is really, really painful, because you have these little invisible guys who can just sneak up on you and jump at you, and it's frightening. And not to mention that, like, every single enemy will have the red explosions. Well, not every single enemy. A number of enemies will have those red explosions. Also, did you see that leaper? He, like, flew halfway across the room. It's such a weird interaction. But, Obsidian Ward is a pretty awesome shield. It will, any melee attacker that hits it will have their movement speed slowed. So this is a special variant of the four-legged guys. They will shoot between 2 to 4 projectiles again. But sometimes when they shoot 4, they will shoot another 5 projectiles in quicker succession. Also, that was a landmine. So there are these little skulls that you can't quite see, that you can't see until you come up close to them. And it turns out they're landmines. So, I think it's a little bit cheap, but then again, I'm also not the most observant person in the world. So, yeah. So, very short floor there. There was an Ember Forge on that floor, but since I got to the stairs so quickly, it didn't matter. I double-checked to make sure that there wasn't a branching path there. So, remember how I said that this floor type was that this kind of floor was really annoying? Yeah, now I have to play it. So, those chatter piles will teleport, and then they'll place an explosion at your feet. And that's all they do, but they have a lot of health. So they're pretty annoying. And then just got our room filled with the little guys here. And then there's these faceless, I think they're like faceless followers. In Mage Gauntlet, which is kind of a prequel, which is kind of the first game in this sort of universe, those guys are the faceless cult. They're called the faceless cult. So I assume they're still called the faceless cult here. But yeah, this floor is not pleasant. I managed to get through it like pretty handily, but still I was pretty worried the entire time, just because it's so easy to die. And then you gotta find, and then if you do die, you gotta find the reason why your friends all died. And then that's just a problem. That presents an issue that may require a tissue. Depends, really. Wow, okay. That aside, that was... Oh, whatever. So, this is one of the other special floors that you can find here is the Ashen Cult floor. So, the Ashen Cult are a bunch of demons, magicians. Yeah, they're not that hard to deal with, except for the big guys. The blue big guys will either shoot a normal projectile at you or put an explosion at your feet, whereas the red big guys will either shoot a normal projectile at you or they will charge at you. So I get a second. I get a second gauntlet upgrade, which kind of sucks because that means I don't get a sword upgrade, and there was a lot of there are a number of potentially useful sword upgrades. The main two being the stained glass sword and the dusk handler. So what the dusk handler does is it replaces your charge attack with a short range spin attack. So think Legend of Zelda. And then the stained glass sword will let you do 3 standing charge attacks. So, this is the last little bit. This music is called Second Wind. It is my favorite track in the game. So, I paused there for some reason. This fight is a joke, if you have hourglasses. All of her attacks are magical, meaning that the hourglass absorbs them all, making this fight an absolute joke. Which is only a thing right now in the mobile version, because because that's going to change in the PC version. The PC version, the boss will continually spawn those hopper guys. Also, swag finish right there. I had a little bit of a positioning mess up here. I believe I did, anyways. Oh no, I stayed as hard left as possible, which is what you're supposed to do. But yeah, that wraps up this run. Time stops as soon as I hit the stairway. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you pick up Wayward Souls, because it is an amazing game, and I will see you next time.